All right, let's keep it going. Let's do it. Another season, Clippers versus Bulls. We talked about the draft that is coming up. Nick Anderson at the top. Vlade Divac in this draft. Glenn Anderson. Tim Hardaway. Again, not this gigantic draft by any... And Sean Kemp, by the way, who is apparently drastically underrated. Not the best draft in the world. Not at all. But certainly not one to build around. So, I have to have 2,000 yards of the guy. Slaughters 8. There you go. I don't want to talk about breakouts in Madden. My heart's broken after earlier. For the Clippers, first and the second rounder this year, the Bulls. A second round pick, our own first, and potentially 3 more first round picks from the Bullets, Pistons, and Sonics, all of which have protections on them. Yeah. Oh, also that 92 draft. Got that Sonics pick, baby. We make it there. So, Bulls are in a pretty interesting spot. In terms of looking at the rosters, first up for your Chicago Bulls. I have a slightly better coach this year. Thank fuck. We can run 10 to get John Sally some playing time. Try to keep people healthy for the playoffs. Yeah, because I don't care about anybody else there. Team's looking good, though. Pippen's getting better. Grant got better. The supporting cast only growing around Mr. Olajuwon. For the Clippers... I mean, shit, it makes sense to run like 8. The lack of quality. Your coach isn't that great either. Is that the only thing that we're allowed to change is the bench depth? Yes, sir. Otherwise, it's all down to what that coach wants. And luck of the draw. Yeah, that's a good team, man. Plus, you weaken the Rockets, as mentioned. I mean, you could run 9 if you wanted to. These guys will still play based on fatigue. But it is just the idea of you're setting the bench up to say, hey, ideally, we're playing our stars quite a bit. And honestly, that team's not bad. Ralph Sampson... I mean, Bill Cartwright was good for you. Ralph Sampson changes that team a lot. Jordan stayed with the Rockets. He did indeed. So, the trade block here. Chat, you know it's not the strongest draft in the world. You don't have too many prospects to try and trade outside of, I'd say, Randall, right? There's B- potential. I mean, you might as well get rid of Randall or Marley at this stage. Outside of that, you got to decide how much of your future first-round picks you got to leverage. If I am you, Randall's on the block. That first-rounder this year is on the block as well. To be honest, I'd be putting your 90 and 91 picks on the block as well. I'd be going for it. And then we're both... Put it this way. Let's be honest. We're both in the same spot. If neither one of us wins, which right now the goal is fucking go for it. If neither one of us wins, or looks like we're going to win in 91, we're both going to use our nuke to get as many draft picks as we can to try and land Shaq. We are on the exact same trajectory again. So, again, let me know if you disagree. But genuinely, seeing what you could get for those next 3 first-round picks is worth looking at, with your core players here not being listed as available. Let me know if you disagree. I think that's the best strategy for you. Easily. And guess what? I'm going to be doing the same damn thing. The same damn thing. Put Marley on there too. Yeah, you could do that too. Given he's the backup in that position. For the Bulls, on the trade block. I do like Spud Webb as a backup. I need a better shooting guard backup. I do need to move on from somebody, and honestly, it's either Kenny Walker or Dennis Hobson. Power forwards, Grant and Sally. Center, we can keep Bill Walton for the extra year, which is good. And for myself, yeah, these first-round picks are ending up on the block. Whatever the most valuable ones are. The Pistons one isn't as valuable. Yeah, there we go. My own, the Sonics, Washington's. Easy does it. And then the core ends up on the block. Or on the Untouchables list, not on the block. So yeah, we both have the same trajectory here. We are very much lined up yet again. Preseason power rankings has the Bulls as the #1 team in the NBA, with San Diego being listed at 20th. And of course, the 2 expansion teams at the bottom. We haven't done it for a season or so. Let's take a look around the league. As Philadelphia, oh man, maybe I really should have invested in those Philadelphia picks. They have basically Moses Malone and Fat Lever, and that's it. Dr. J is an old man. The Milwaukee Bucks, Sidney Moncrief, Marquez Johnson, Norm Nixon leading the way. Very old Junior Bridgman at this point. The Washington Bullets. And again, I do have their pick this year, but a veteran, Adrian Dantley, George Gervin, and Jay Humphreys. I also got a guy named Derek McKee. Rex Chapman now. Of course, we know about the Bulls. The Cavs with Larry Nance, Johnny Moore, Alden Polynice, Michael Cage. I mean, they're okay. Boston with Bird. We almost fucking took Kevin McHale. Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson. They should still be pretty good. Of course, we know about the Clippers. The Hawks have David Robinson and Derek Harper. A couple other pieces. Miami with Kenny Smith, Cam Maggette. Their band of merry men. I don't even know if they didn't even keep Dennis Rodman. The Charlotte Hornets. Wow. As an expansion franchise. Damn. Damn, though. As an expansion franchise, the Hornets fucking killed it. All right. Old Kelly Tripucka. My goodness. Bill Cartwright, John Williams, Hershey Hawkins. Of course, they took Watley off of my team as well. Damn, good for them. Good for the Hornets. The Utah Jazz, Terry Cummings. Back to the team that drafted him. Darryl Griffith, Cliff Levingston, Brad Davis, Scott Skiles, Muggsy Bogues, Tree Rollins. Sacramento with Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler, Chuck Person, Kevin Willis. Sacramento is not to be taken lightly. The New York Knicks, James Worthy, Brad Doherty, Bernard King, Jim Paxson still there, so they're still going to be a pain in the ass for me. The Lakers with Magic and Alex English still, and pretty much the same damn team they had last year, let's be honest. The Dallas Mavericks, Mark Aguirre, Charles Oakley. Old 7-6 Manute Bowl. New Jersey Nets have Buck Williams, Larry Drew, Daryl Dawkins leading the way. The Denver Nuggets, Jeff Rulin's mustache. Rodney McRae, Danny Manning. Man, they have fucking big men galore. Jesus Christ. Your old center, James Donaldson. The Pacers with Clark Kellogg, Wayman Tisdale, Del Curry, Eddie Johnson. Mac, I am very well aware, yes. The Detroit Pistons brought back Isaiah Thomas. Man, Thomas and McHale both refused to shake up the status quo. You got Bill Laimbeer, Jeff Ross, not the comedian. The Rockets still with MJ Wilkins and Maurice Cheeks, but a big Ralph Sampson-sized hole in that lineup. San Antonio with Patrick Ewing, Cliff Robinson, Terry Porter. Ron Harper as well. Can you veto the Hornets' move to New Orleans and give them an expansion later? Yes. Pretty sure you can. You can definitely veto the move. The Phoenix Suns, Makiki, Doc Rivers, Reggie Lewis. Seattle with Mullen, Sikma, Mark Price, Chambers. Ooh, Seattle's looking okay. Portland with John Stockton, Rolando Blackman, Detlef Schrempf. They're looking okay. And Golden State with Xavier McDaniel, Joe Barry Carroll, Purvis Short, Sleepy Floyd. That is what the league looks like right now, with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson still the best. But Isaiah, Jordan, and a tie between Olajuwon and Aguirre rounding out the list. let's see what happens. 1988, 89. A big season for both of us. A trade offer for the Bulls early on. It would be Kenny Walker to San Antonio, along with a 1993 second round pick for the Spurs' 91 first rounder, top 3 protected, and power forward Alton Lister. The reason to do this would be knowing that that 91 pick could become the 92. Not that I want to get rid of Kenny Walker, but I have to. It's him or Hobson that has to go. I can only have one of them behind Scotty. I mean, you could argue that, well, either one of them could play shooting guard and Dumars is off the floor. I definitely don't need another big man like Lister. He's got 1 year left on his deal. First round pick from the Spurs. They do have a pretty mid team and a slightly older team. I mean, it's really Patrick Ewing, but Cliff Robinson will be up there. I don't know if I'd bank on them being bad, and they're certainly trying to be better now. God, Kenny Walker was good for me in the playoffs, man. Want to hold on to him for now. That's enticing, and I might regret it, but I'm going to decline that trade. Get a trade offer involving Spud Webb, who I do not want to trade. So, no, thank you. All the trade offers for the Bulls. Spud Webb for Sam. Stop! I don't want to give up Spud Webb. Spud Webb. Oh, God. No. Cruel temptress with an unprotected 1992 first rounder. But it does involve my unprotected first rounder this year and Spud Webb. Askew, B potential, 22-year-old guard / forward. It does mean that Dumars would likely end up playing a bit at point guard. That other trade I was regretting enough not taking. This one is very, very tempting. They got a pretty old core. Isaiah will be in his early 30s. Fuck. I don't mind giving up my first this year because we know it'll be low when I have the other ones. Spud's such a good defender and a good playmaker. You notice athleticism isn't great. And again, it's just like Kenny Walker, though. Like, he's a backup for me. But I also don't want to screw up my depth too much for futures. I think I have to take it, man. I gotta do it. Spud Webb in my first round pick this year to Detroit for their 92 first rounder and Vinny Askew. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take that. That is a done deal. It's very, very tough to trade Spud Webb like that, but it had to be done. I need another point guard. Askew as the backup shooting guard isn't bad. You have 5 of the first, don't you? That'll now be my third, already my third first rounder in 92. With this team that could win this year, I'm set up for now, and I'm set up for later. At least as best as I can be. Do I have an injury at forward? Hello? Okay, no, that was just being weird. So ideally, I'd trade for another point guard. If I could swap out one of these forwards for a point guard, I'd be set. I don't think like any of these filler dudes are going to have any trade value at all. They're not. Oh, I can't trade the other guys because they were signed recently. That's what it was. I don't want Bill Walton to go anywhere. But yeah, I still have 3 potential first-round picks this year if I don't trade them. I'm going to put my second-round pick from Seattle. Nope, that's not worth shit. What about my second-round pick next year? That's worth even less. What about I'll put my first-rounder next year on the board there, too. So Spud Webb is out. Controversial, perhaps. I can still run 10 and get Vinny Askew some playing time. It's not too bad. Yeah. Still an 8-2 record right now as well, so it's not that bad. Whew. All right. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Clippers. Okay. Dan Marley and a swap of your 1991 first rounders. You would get the worst of the 2, though, to bring in Ricky Pierce. That makes no fucking sense. Saw 91 picks and thought, yeah, maybe, but no, that makes no sense at all. As we read the offer, it's like, oh, that's just a shit deal. You guys are currently at 10-8 on the season. Make that 12-9. Another deal for the Clippers. Paul Farmer and a 1993 second rounder. Farmer's 23 years old, 73 overall, C+ potential. For Brad Dantley, 24 years old, 73 overall, C potential. No. That makes no sense. You guys keep getting shit offers. Oh my god. A 1-for-1. Dan Marley for Hot Rod Williams. 26 years old, 78 overall. Marley's a 77 at 23. It would give you a good big man. Ooh, Ralph Sampson's hurt right now, too. Honestly, you might want to consider it. It takes away some of the depth at guard and gets you depth at power forward that you need. Honestly, you need a third guy in there with Sampson and Thorpe that you don't currently have. I think you guys have to take that. Oh, wow, it ended up signing you guys Alan Lavelle, so congratulations. You've got a random point guard who's actually pretty good. Obviously, you know, you're risking what Marley could be, you know, in the future, but at the same time, Byron Scott's only 27. Anybody declining? We were just forced to draft that dude. So I mean, you weren't forced to draft the guy. You guys elected to trade him. I didn't force anybody to do anything. Well, we'll put it up to a vote since there is an objection. Do you take that trade? You trade the younger Dan Marley for Hot Rod Williams to, you know, take a bit of a hit in terms of the youth and a decent player, but you get a pretty big filler need by bringing in Hot Rod Williams as a big man, who, again, can play center as well. He fits exactly what the hell you guys need right now. Wow, people are voting no. I'm shocked. I would absolutely take that trade if that was me, but fair play. It's got time left. It's within 5 votes, but right now, as it stands, I mean, I get it. Marley, a younger guard, but like I said, you got 2 point guards. You'd still have 2 shooting guards, and it gets you the big man depth that you need that you don't have. We'll see if it ends up being a no. But, wow. Well, it is tied at 15 apiece. Does Toogie place a vote with this chat? I do not, and I can prove that I haven't. There it is right there. I haven't hit a button. Haven't done it. I never touched the vote. Not once ever. If it's a chat decision like that, it doesn't matter if it's this, the NHL Pred series. I always abstain. If it stays a tie, it goes to a coin toss. So keep that in mind. If it ends in a tie, it goes to a coin toss. That is the question. One vote separating the two, 17 to 16. Now 18-17 in favor of yes, 19-17. The trade goes through by 2 votes. Dan Majerle. I have to say for old time's sake. For Hot Rod Williams. That is a done deal, 1-for-1 with the Milwaukee Bucks. As Hot Rod Williams is now on this team. And will be playing center for you guys in the short term. You still got an 8-man bench at the moment. You'll be able to upgrade it to a 9. But yeah, that helps you a lot in the short term while Ralph Sampson's out for a week or 2. So there you go. Hot Rod Williams to San Diego. You guys as well at 13-11. So not the hottest start. Bill Walton for Junior Bridgman. I'm going to say no to that. I need Bill Walton more. I need a backup center. So not bad, not bad. Man, teams want Bill Walton. I'm not budging. Not for that. You want Bill Walton, you better shell out. Okay. A 69 power forward for a 71. This dude's 24 years old, B potential. This dude's 32. I mean, I'll take the upgrade because this guy's not going to be able to play enough to actually do it. Sure. Thank you, Cleveland. You take the younger guy, I'll take the slightly better veteran. Fine by me. Bulls at 24-8. We are very, very close. A week out, in fact, from the deadline. I still have Kenny Walker and Hobson. I can't believe the Spurs didn't come back for Walker. And for you guys at this point, it actually doesn't make sense to have Randall on the block since he would be your second choice guard. There's not much else for you guys to do in terms of just hope that one of those first round picks fetches somebody. You know, we did fill out the target list once, but at the same time, what the hell would you guys do? A better depth forward, basically, is the only thing that you really need, or a backup center. So again, like, I could look through really quickly and just be like, all right, cool, who's out there? But then you'd have to sit through me doing it as well. That's the trade-off. And again, you'd be looking for a depth option. It's like would you want to give up a first-round pick to get Dr. J as a depth option, you know? So that's where we're at the moment. The Clippers also, by the way, only at 18-17. That is good enough, though, to be in 7th in your conference with the Rockets, Kings, and Jazz at the top. You guys are actually underperforming compared to how good you should be. In the East, the Bulls leading the way. Second best team, tied for the second best team in the NBA behind fucking Michael Jordan and the Rockets, even without Ralph Sampson. But then again, they're probably running their star players more than I am. So let's see what happens as we head to the trade deadline. Do I need a depth guard? And I know I just traded for this guy. Do I need a depth guard more than the power forward? No, I don't. Sorry to... Actually, hold on. Kevin McKenna, 30 years old. Yep, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Will there be any other deals on the table? Turns out, if I wanted to trade Kenny Walker, I should have done it previously. That is it. In terms of trades. No, there's one more. Interesting. On deadline day, the Knicks offer me Keith Edmondson and Kurt Nymphius for Vincent Askew and Mark Iavaroni, who I acquired both these guys this season. So Askew is the 73-75 guard. Edmondson's about a 74 guard, apparently. So those are pretty much interchangeable. I could use this power forward to get another center. Sure. I don't really see how I lose here. Nobody has contracts or... Yeah, I'll take that. Sorry, Vinny. Well, actually, ooh, hold on. Well, no, because Edmondson replaces Vinny. Thank you very much, New York. I'll take the slight upgrade. What the hell? And there we go. We have officially passed the deadline. Let's take a look at the teams here really quickly. For the Bulls, no injured players at the moment. I'm still running a 10-man bench right now just to have the depth and to try to minimize injuries. For the Clippers, and we have you guys running an 8-man bench at the moment. You could shorten it to 7, but Reggie Williams and Alan Lavelle are both out at the moment. So you guys have had some unfortunate injury struggles this season that have really kind of halted how good you could be. Now under 500 after the All-Star break. Clippers in a weird spot where you would have thought Ralph Sampson was a fucking guarantee to make the playoffs, but you are at 500. Quincy Randall's out for a couple of weeks. Damn. Scott right now, Thorpe. I don't know if that's outright regression or just not getting along. Clippers are worth keeping an eye on, where you guys might not be where you want to be. We will stop on the contract extension deadline. Again, none of these guys eligible whatsoever, which is what it normally ends up saying. For the Bulls, I could bring back Bill Walton, but I'm not going to. This is his last year here. So yeah, nothing to do contract-wise either. Let's wrap up this season. 31, okay. Clippers finding their stride into the month of March. I would imagine that's very much playoff pace right now, as the Bulls absolutely shit on you. So April 2nd, 1989. The Clippers, currently 5th in the West. They have recovered from a pretty rough go of it for the majority of the season. Not guaranteed a playoff spot, but in good shape to accomplish that goal, while the Bulls have clinched the top record in the East. And the Bulls are the best team in the NBA while load managing. Oh, God. Let's find out what happens here. We'll wrap up the 88-89 season. 41-40. Uh-oh. 2 games left for the Clippers. Have you guys blown this? No, but you might be the 8th seed. You guys might have choked away the 5th seed to end up as the 8th seed. You are in the playoffs, but it's going to come down to your last game against the Spurs and other results, and you lost to San Antonio. The season comes to an end with league MVP for the very first time, Akeem the Dream Olajuwon. He wants fucking revenge. He is mad after losing in the NBA final. Your rookie of the year, Dallas's Mitch Richmond, averaging 23 points a game. 6th man of the year, yet again, is Houston's Michael Adams, 2 years in a row. Defensive player of the year, yet again, is Mr. Olajuwon. Now, 5 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards. Jordan was MVP last year, so it went Akeem, Jordan, Akeem. 5 years in the league, 5-time first-team All-NBA. John Williams in Charlotte gets to be a star there. Gets most improved. Coach of the year, Chicago's Steve Harrison. Executive of the year, Houston's Keith Hodges. First team All-NBA is Magic, Jordan, Bird, Aguirre, and Olajuwon. All defensive team is Jordan, Magic, James Worthy, McDaniel, and Olajuwon. And the all-rookie team, Rick Smits, Gerald Wilkins, Chris Morris, Danny Manning, and Mitch Richmond. In the postseason, Chat's Clippers will take on Michael Jordan and the Houston Rockets in the first round, while the Chicago Bulls host the 8th seed Washington Bullets. We are both back in the playoffs, chat. with interesting scenarios at play.